Hello, it's so good to see you. Thank you so much for coming at such short notice. Now, here's the deal. We have something big for you. I know that you've been asking for some time, is there an opportunity for you in the Marvel Universe? Well, I've got to tell you something. Something big is coming up. Now, here's the situation. This character has been owned by Fox for years. Marvel has had no stake in it whatsoever. But with the success of the Deadpool movie, they're looking to branch out, and they're looking at doing a joint deal. Now picture this. Every single Fantastic Four movie, at best, has been terrible. And the last one was abysmal. It was the worst performing movie in just about Fox's modern history. And so Fox is not super excited about revisiting those characters. What they want to do is try for a back door. And what they want to do is introduce one of the Fantastic Four characters in the background of another movie. And if they make that work, what they're going to be able to do is bring the Fantastic Four in slowly and then be able to bring them back into their own movie that hopefully is good. Now, baby, this is where you come in. We are looking at the next star for a major motion picture. We are looking for a character that has not yet been represented in a live action movie. Are you ready for this? We are looking to see if you want to play Namor. That's right, Namor the Submariner. Have you heard of him? You have a little bit? Well, this is a character who's been around since the beginning of the Marvel Universe. Most importantly to what we're looking at here, he's had an off and on again relationship with Sue Storm. You got it, from the Fantastic Four. So what they're looking at doing is a leading man role for you as Namor. Now, I'm not going to lie to you. There's a lot of competition for this. You're not going to be alone going up for this, but you are already in the top 3 contenders. They like your look. Obviously, a lot of that has to do with your body. We know how this business works, but they really think you've got the charm to pull this off. Again, with the anti-hero success of Deadpool, this character Namor, he is, he's a bit of a jerk. He's kind of a jerk, but he's one of those characters who, even though he's very cold and very austere and very cruel even sometimes to other characters, he is very noble and he has a strong moral code, and we think that this is going to connect with a modern audience. Now, if we can make this work, this has a lot of opportunities. So one, Fox is going to let Marvel make this movie. And by the way, that's why you'll be signing this non-disclosure agreement before we leave today, right? Okay. If we can get this to pull through, Namor can be a big hit. We've got some great writers right now working on the script. And if we can get this to pull off, they're going to have Sue Storm be the major romance in the movie. Now, this is really going to get nerds really excited because Sue Storm is supposed to be with Mr. Fantastic. But at the same time, Mr. Fantastic is kind of the stick in the mud. He's the good guy. He's the just, kind of noodly guy. And Namor is the bad boy. And so this way, they'll get to have their cake and eat it too. She gets to have this wild love affair with Namor. But you get to play that part. And then later, they'll arrange things so that she gets back with Richard in a very exciting, type of adventure. And all the details don't matter right now. What matters is that you come off as the very engaging bad boy. You literally, in the right circumstances, could be the next Wolverine. Now, I know that's a lot to say, but let's just say things have gone well for Hugh Jackman in the last decade or so. Now, this is what we're going to need to find out. We got to find out about your swimming capability. We got to see if you're willing to be trained to do some serious underwater stunts. Now, obviously, a lot of this stuff today, they're going to be able to mix in with CGI, but the real zeitgeist right now in Hollywood is moving towards a more realistic feel. And so we're going to have a lot of scenes that are going to have intense underwater action. And that's going to be a lot of effort for you. And I know that's going to be difficult. So I want you to go in with your eyes wide open, that you'll be willing to do these underwater scenes. Unfortunately, I think it goes without saying, hey, you are in fantastic shape right now, but you're going to have to reach a level that you've previously not done before. And we're going to work with you on that. We're going to make sure you get the personal trainers that you need. But not only do you have to look good in a superhero costume, Namor typically is shown with only his pants, shall we say. Sometimes he'll have a vest, but a lot of the time you are going to have your shirt off. The quick little polling that we did showed that the female attendance to this film is going to be through the roof. Now, obviously, at the end of the day, it has to come down to a great story. The other thing that we have to contend with is that Warner Brothers is going to be coming out with Aquaman. It's probably going to come out first. There's nothing we can do about that. We're not going to worry about it. What we're going to focus on is the interpersonal story of Namor. Their story is more likely to be focused on his kingdom, on him being a prince. Now, certainly that's going to be a big part of Namor, but we're going to take a little bit more of the fish out of water, no pun intended. Okay, the pun was intended, of Namor in the city, but also with his relationships with some key friends, with some key superheroes that he's going to interact with, and most importantly, with Sue Storm. This is going to be Sue Storm with superpowers. So it's going to be a character who can really go toe-to-toe with her. And we're going to have to really work on the villain. They haven't decided yet on which villain they want to do. They may possibly go the route of Dr. Doom. That's something they're definitely considering. The other thing is, in the comic, Namor has been retconned to be a mutant. So we also have the full retinue of mutants to look at as a possibility. So I just want you to keep all of this under consideration, that none of this is definite right now, but I want your commitment. I want your commitment to work on this, to do your best, to put everything you have into the work that it's going to take beforehand in both the water work and the working out. The two are probably going to go very, very hand in hand. But your body, if this is a success, is going to be plastered over every magazine from here to California. Now, if things work out, this is the dollar amount that we're talking about. Yeah. We can discuss specifics later, but that's what they're talking about. This could change your career, this one movie. So, what we're going to do is we're going to arrange for some test footage to be filmed. So, if you have some crunches that you want to do in the next 2 weeks, go ahead and get those in, because they're going to put you in some very uncomfortable pants, some really tight pants, and see how you look in them. They're going to test you in a pool. They're going to go out to the ocean and see how you look walking out of the ocean. Do you remember the number of reposts and images of Daniel Craig coming out of the water in Casino Royale? That's this entire movie. So the potential for success with that is incredibly high. I really think you've got the chops to pull this off. I know it's going to be a lot of work, but what I want to hear from you right now, conditionally, I understand we have to get our contracts together, we have to talk to your agent, we have to get everything ironed out, and hey, let's be honest, we know this business, both of us. It may not even come down to you as the final, but I gotta tell you, I think you've got the look more than anyone else. One final thing, you are gonna have to dye your hair black. I don't think you'll have a problem with that. I mean, you actors, you're used to doing this all the time. But Namor is particularly identified as having black hair, and they think that it's going to look really good. Now, unfortunately, they're going to have to constantly be dyeing your hair because of all the water work is going to be really hard on it. So it's just another thing I want to let you know about that you're just going to have to put up with. But what do you say? Are you willing to be the next big Marvel star? Yes? All right. Let's go find you a really tight pair of pants.